today's class, we will be talking about the permanent tissues. We have started our discussion of tissues in yesterday's class. So, in yesterday's class, we came to know about the meristematic tissues, what are tissues, and the types of meristematic tissues. Let's recall them at first. Tissues are a group of cells that are similar in structure and they perform a particular function. Now, if we move about plant tissues, there are two types, permanent tissues and meristematic tissues. In yesterday's class, we have discussed about meristematic tissues. If you have not watched that video, first see that. Let's recall a part of it. Meristematic tissues are undifferentiated tissues which are capable of cell division. Meristematic tissues are divided into three parts, that is apical, lateral and intercalary. Now in today's class, we will be discussing about permanent tissues. Permanent tissues, they originate from the meristematic tissues. Different types of permanent tissues are formed by differentiation of the cells. Now, what do you mean by differentiation? The differentiation is the process of taking up of permanent shape, size, and function. If we talk about the characteristics of permanent tissues, cells have lost the power of division, that is, they do not divide. They have a definite form and size. They are differentiated cells and carry out specific functions. They are living cells or dead cells. They may be thick or thin. They are large and vacuolated cytoplasm are present in them. Now, talking about the type of permanent tissues, we'll see there are two types of permanent tissues, a simple permanent tissues and a complex permanent tissues. Talking about the simple permanent tissues are structurally similar. That is, these tissues are composed of only one type of cells. On the basis of the nature of cells, there are of three types, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Talking about parenchyma, it is the most primitive and fundamental tissues. It is the most common tissues in the plant with relatively little specialization. These cells are living as well as you'll find their shape as in spherical, oval, or polygonal. The cell wall in this parenchyma is thin and they are made up of cellulose. These cells are loosely packed and you will see a large intercellular space, whereas in meristematic tissue, you will not see intercellular space present in them. There is a large central vacuole and a dense peripheral cytoplasm containing a distinct nucleus. If we talk about parenchyma cells, we will see them that they are present in a soft part of the plant, such as the cortex of the root, ground tissues, in stems and mesophils of the leaf. See, in parenchyma cells, you will see as they are loosely packed, you will see a large intercellular space present between them. These are the intercellular space. I'll make a line and I'll show you. Okay, okay, forget about it. Huh. See, there are intercellular space between them. You will see a large central vacuole present between them. These are the central vacuoles which are present between them. They have a primary cell wall, a middle lamina, nucleus is present, and cytoplasm is present at the periphery. Now, the function of parenchyma is the storage of the food. Specialized parenchyma are collenchyma, arenchyma, steel parenchyma, and idioblast. If we talk about chlorenchyma, parenchyma which are present with chloroplast are known as parenchyma. Arenchyma are the parenchyma with the air cavity present in them. Stellate or steel parenchyma are the star-shaped parenchyma. And idioblast parenchyma with the ergastric, that is metabolic waste substance present, is idioblast. Collenchyma. Collenchyma, these cells are the living cells. They are elongated and they are irregularly thickened at the corner. You will see the irregular formation of the cells on the corner of the cells. They are also living. The intercellular space present in them is very little, and their function is they provide the mechanical strength. Parenchyma are the storage for food. They provide, and if we talk about parenchyma, they provide mechanical strength. That is, it provides flexibility to the plant, thus allowing bending in various parts of the plant leaf and stem without any breakage. Now, if we talk about sclerenchyma, these cells of the tissues are dead. Parenchyma and collenchyma are the living cells, and sclerenchyma are the cells of tissues which are dead. The cell wall is long and narrow. Cell wall is very much thickened due to the deposition of lignin. Lignin is a chemical substance which acts as a cement which hards our cell wall. The cell wall is so thick that there is no intercellular space inside the cell. There is no intercellular space. We have seen that there is a large intercellular space in parenchyma, a little in collenchyma, and no intercellular space in sclerenchyma. Present in stem around vascular bundles in veins of the leaves and the hard covering of the seeds and nuts. See, you will see a narrow lumen. A lignin is present, which helps in thickening of the wall and it provides us strength. Now, if we talk about the in the older plant, the outer protective layer, that is epidermis, undergoes certain changes and is replaced by secondary meristem. Cells on the outside are cut off from this layer. This forms a several layer of thick cork or the bark of the tree. The cork of the tree are dead and they are compactly arranged without any intercellular space. They have a chemical present in them which is known as suberin in their walls and which makes them impervious to gases and water. Now, talking about complex permanent tissues, they are of two types, that is xylem and phloem. Complex permanent tissues are made up of structurally different cells. All these cells coordinate themselves to perform a common function. Xylem and phloem are the example of complex permanent tissues. They are the conducting tissues and consist of a vascular bundles. Now we talk about the functions. They help in transport of water, minerals, salt, food to various parts of the plant body. Xylem. Xylem is composed of four different types of cells that are trachyard cells, vesicles, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Now, talking about each of them in details, tracheids are the dead, thick-walled, lignified tubular cells. Vesicles are dead, thick-walled, lignified tubular cells which are present in angiosperm only, whereas you will see in gymnosperm and pteridophytes they are absent. Xylem parenchyma, it consists of the living cells and have thin cell wall. Now, if you will be asked that, tell me about the xylem, which are the living cells. You will see that these are xylem parenchyma, whereas trachyard, vesicles, as well as xylem fiber, they consist of the dead cells with thick cell walls. Xylem fibers, it also consists of the thick cell walls with thick cell walls and dead cells. They are mainly supportive in function. Now, if we talk about phloem, phloem is also called as the blast and it consists of four different types of cells, that is sieve tubes, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Sieve tube. Sieve tubes, they are the tubular cells with end wall perforated by numerous pores which are called sieve plates. These sieve tubes do not have a nucleus, but they have a thin layer of cytoplasm. If we talk about companion cells, these are small elongated cells having dense cytoplasm and prominent nucleus. Now, talking about phloem parenchyma, they are thin-walled, having parenchymatous cells which are mainly concerned with the storage and transportation of food. They are thin-walled, as well as parenchymatous cells. Now, talking about phloem fibers, these are the thick-walled, elongated del sclerenchymatic cells which provides mechanical strength to the tissues. Provides mechanical strength to the tissues. Now, the function of phloem are transportation of food from the leaf to the storage organ and later from the storage organs to the growing regions of the plant. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe.